Yeah, that Congressman Kevin McCarthy says it's dangerous. That's why he's introducing this bill to censure Maxine Waters. He says now that she has said all of this, it's putting doubt in the jury.
Chad Pergram does a story today. It's on FoxNews.com, and it just says basically Democrats are telling him they are upset that Maxine Waters did that. But if you're that upset, put your name behind it. Republicans have no problem calling out other Republicans. Why can't a Democrat stand up and go, yeah, I'm really offended by Maxine Waters being involved, being in the same party as me, acting so irresponsible at 82 years old. When's she going to grow up? She travels with security in order to go into the center of Brooklyn Center in order to say, if this verdict doesn't come out right, get ready to really ratchet up the
confrontation.
The confrontation. I should use the right word here. So one thing about the defense attorney, he said, I asked you, Judge, please sequester the jury. And then out of nowhere, this Brooklyn Center story, this tragedy happens with Daunte Wright. And then these riots happen for 9 straight days. And then Maxine Waters jumps in the middle of it. And you got to tell me the jury didn't see any of this? Wow. They're not affected by this, knowing if they vote a certain way, if they say, oh, you know what, there's reasonable doubt, that they're going to feel personally responsible if people die, if places are burned?
You said that the Democrats should be offended. They should put their name on it.
Absolutely.
Instead, they're defending her. At least the media is. Listen to this.
Do you really think she's calling for violence? Most people know that that's not true. And the people who are speaking out against her are using it politically.
The judges opining about whether it was appropriate or right for elected officials to talk about a trial seemed to me itself a bit inappropriate. Like, it's a free country. You can talk about whatever you want.
The judge lashing out at a U.S. congresswoman, even mentioning the possibility that a verdict could be overturned in the future.
I don't think that Maxine meant anything by that except to say you have to stick with it, you know, you have to be there. One little thing like this, and they jump all over her. I mean, she's one congresswoman.
So, Brian, if you're expecting the Democrats to come out and call out those comments, I think you're getting the opposite. They know how to close ranks when necessary, and the media does it for them.
Always. And she has a history of this. I was actually out in California when the Rodney King verdict came in and Reginald Denny was almost killed. And you saw the horror story when he was ripped out of his truck because people weren't happy with that verdict. And I saw the curfews and I saw the trucks and the National Guard and blocking of roads and the burning of buildings. And I did not know her then, but we now know her now. But the year was 1992. And if you're looking at a pattern of behavior, you go back there. The riots after Rodney King and Maxine Waters' role. Look.
There are scores of injuries and still anger and frustration and people who plan on staying on the streets and expressing their outrage and anger in any way they deem necessary. There are those who would like for me and others and all of us to tell people to go inside, to be peaceful, that they have to accept the verdict. I accept the responsibility of asking people not to endanger their lives. I am not asking people not to be angry. I am angry, and I have a right to that anger, and the people out there have a right to that anger. We don't want anybody killed. None of us believe in violence, but there are some angry people in America.
She also said a few years ago, remember, she told people to get in the faces of Trump's cabinet members and said, challenge them if you see them at a gas station, at a restaurant, a department store.
By the way, I first time I was seeing those comments, I don't have a problem with those comments.
Yeah, she didn't. She said, I don't want anyone to die.
She caveated them properly at the end. I mean, she started out by saying outrage and anger in any way they deem necessary, and then got to the point of saying, hey, I don't want to see violence. Right. But at the same time, it is in keeping with the perspective that she has carried all the way forward to Brooklyn Center, which is agitate, confront, agitate, to include the Trump administration. And what she did was so dangerous in Brooklyn Center was set an impossible standard. She said it must be a first-degree murder charge. That's not even what they're charging Derek Chauvin with, which means even if they convict him on all counts, murder 2, murder 3, and manslaughter, it's not enough for Maxine Waters, which means it's confrontation no matter what. And a iteration of that is, and he said it much better than I did, is what Tucker Carlson said last night about Maxine Waters' message. Take a listen.
We've got to make sure they know we mean business, she said. Well, that couldn't be clearer. Do what we say or we'll kill you. That's the message. Maxine Waters doesn't have much use for those Anglo-Saxon civic traditions like jury trials. Her demand was very clear. convict Officer Derek Chauvin of first-degree murder or we will burn it down. But no honest person who has watched the trial would tell you he is guilty of first-degree murder. Saying that, claiming that, is not a rational, evidence-based position, no matter who you voted for in the last election, and no matter what you think of George Floyd. In a fair system, no jury would convict Chauvin of first-degree murder. But again, Maxine Waters doesn't believe in the system, the one that she helps run, so she's demanding a first-degree murder conviction.
Right.
So, Steve Scalise, Congressman Steve Scalise, remember he was shot on the baseball field, and he said, I was shot because of this kind of dangerous rhetoric. Where is the outrage from the Dems and the media? They need to condemn this.
And the only thing I say, Nancy Pelosi, the worst, just she has every right to say it. Put it this way, the judge just grounded the whole thing. That whole montage of anchors trying to make excuses for and saying people in politics are overreacting, that judge works for Amy Klobuchar. That judge is no right-wing zealot. No. He's saying, look, legally, what the hell are you doing showing up here the night before on the 8th day of civil unrest, which is highlighted by looting and violence and cops being hit with objects.
That's why now National Guard's being called into some of these cities because they're worried how this is going to affect.
And getting shot at in Minneapolis, by the way. You're exactly right, Brian. Right before the judge made that statement, which made it so shocking, he gave like this weird winding sermon about implicit bias and everything. I mean, he was clearly a left-wing judge who just said, this is out of bounds.
Yeah, so you can listen to the judge or you can listen to Don Lemon, your choice. I'm going to flip a coin in the break. I'll tell you what comes up.